Good morning. We're sitting here wake and bake with Old School and Co. I hope you're TOKE up and tuning in because I've got a good show for you today. I'm talking with my friend Will Daugherty. What's going on, brother?
That's right. Thank you for having me on here, Old School.
Right
Not
on,
much, man. Coming in here, hanging out at the bunker. Excited to talk about you. Had a lot of cool stuff going on. A lot of good events this week in the libertarian movement that we've been fighting for.
Right on.
Getting involved with more and more people, trying to bring the movement closer together with the cannabis movement as well.
There you go.
See eye to eye on so many things. We want to get the government out of so many things in our lives, and that's where we can unite, get a lot of people, I think, involved in the same ideas and the same push forward.
So a lot of people don't know we are veteran brothers. You're Air Force.
That's right.
I'm Jarhead,
That's
you don't
right.
have to talk slow to me. I can understand you.
And I appreciate you still calling me a veteran even though I was in the Air Force. Thanks for that.
Well, I told him my joke earlier, so
That's
what
right.
can I say? Okay, so you served in the Air Force. You were in Germany, several different places, That's one of those deals where you got a high security clearance. And you see people, we talked about veterans. We get banged up a lot in the military.
That's right.
See people going to a sick bay and walking back with their little bag of pills.
That's right.
And a lot of us, we don't like that.
No.
Yeah, I'm not a big pharmaceutical guy. I was addicted to pharmaceutical for 12 years. I've been off of them for 4 years. So people, you go to a pharmacy like that and it's a leash because you can't get away from that. That's what gets me is you can't get away from that drug leash.
That's absolutely right. We see it in the military. We see it even more so when you get out in the Veteran Administration. Sadly.
Oh yeah.
And my big brother, he was a opiate addict for a long time. He's going to be celebrating 10 years of sobriety this year in June.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely have seen that firsthand of what pill pushing and painkillers and that prescription industry can do to people's lives, and it is dangerous.
Because that opiate addiction affects the entire family. People don't realize that. It does affect, and it reaches out so far in the family. People try to hide stuff, but you can't.
Absolutely. You know that they're going to tell you, and everybody knows this who has had an addict in their life or who's been an addict. All addicts are liars. And of course, once they recover, they can get a lot better and heal, but it's a hard fight from opiates. It really is. A lot of people don't make it out of that fight, and we are extremely thankful and extremely blessed that he was able to make it out of that fight with the grace of God and 10 years sober this year. So
that is so outstanding.
Yeah.
So many people fight those drugs like I fought those drugs. I thought I needed those drugs. My body, your body tells you, your mind tells you, you need these drugs to do this, to get through the day. No, I don't, because I haven't used them in 4 years, so I'm pretty good.
Amen. You found something better?
I found something much better. That's one of those things I've been using it all along. And, well, I couldn't use it when I was on the pharmaceuticals because they did the drug test.
Sure.
Now, occasionally they would bust me for cannabis whenever I was going to the pain med doctor. And what really irritated me was occasionally they would get a false positive cannabis on me. And I would get, you come in there, and test positive for cannabis. Now, they're sitting there with their prescription deal and they're telling you they're not going to write you their script. You're out. I'm an addict.
Absolutely.
Now, always will be an addict.
Withdrawals are about to start.
Withdrawals about to start, and they're sitting there and they're pressuring you. Well, you would, there you go. But they will sit there and say, okay, you got a test, but you're negative next time you come in and stuff, so, okay. They'll give you your prescription. Now, that's another thing about being an addict is where the 24-hour drugstores are. Because if you're an addict and your pills run out the 3rd of the month, you can't go to one drugstore until 9 o'clock the next morning. But another drugstore you can go to at 12:05 that night.
You had it memorized.
Oh yeah, all of them know. We know all the tricks and all the trades. And you think you're getting away with stuff, and you're really not. You're tracked like nobody's business.
You start smelling bad. You stop washing your clothes. You stop taking care of yourself.
You're just sitting in a chair, man. Because you're a zombie.
Yeah.
Okay, now what district are you running for Senate?
I'm not running for anything yet. So right now, I just got elected a few weeks ago as the at-large legislative member of the Oklahoma Libertarian Party.
Oh, okay, cool.
So what I do now is I keep an eye on what's coming down from the state house, from the state senate, and my job is to find something that we disagree with, so that we can, have rallies and events against it, put out messaging against it, send emails against it, make those calls, go knock on those doors at the Capitol if we need to.
It's pretty easy to find stuff that we're against, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it's extremely easy. What I've learned is that it's a job way too big for one person. I'm trying to learn more about the legislative process, but there's so much coming down that it's a team effort, and really the party has all just helped me with it to keep me involved and send me notices of what's coming down the chain.
It is a gung-ho deal. That means work together. Everybody working together. We pull together, we work together, and that's what I always talk about, that high-speed internet, because we are spread all over the state.
Sure.
And we can reach people, because with our reach, we reach the United States, and Oklahoma is underneath a microscope right now.
That's right.
With our cannabis program, and we want to get it right.
That's right. We're showing the world that freedom can actually work.
Freedom can actually work. I love it.
That's right.
Rock on, brother.
Because this, as a medical program, it's about as close to recreational as you can probably find in the country right now.
Yeah, yeah.
We've got the best medical program, in my opinion.
In my opinion, too. I just love our program because the products we've got. I haven't went to other states. Went to Colorado a long time ago, but other states, that have been legalized, they do not have the freedoms we have. We've got flour, we've got edibles, we've got just this, that, everything. Some states, they are limited to just an inhaler that they got to get from kind of like a pharmacy.
It's terrible.
That's terrible. That is not freedom. That is not freedom, in my opinion.
And you look at places even like Arkansas, who, we wrote 788 to be superior. We were already rolling out our dispensaries, and they had passed it a complete year earlier and still hadn't had a business open.
And the amount of dispensaries and growers, Oklahoma, I think we've got more growers in Oklahoma than the entire United States.
It's incredible.
It's great.
And it's funny, the only people who have a problem with it seem to be the politicians.
Really? Yeah. I've kind of noticed that. And they just keep writing these laws. We brought it up earlier that the government is like a super tanker.
Uh-huh.
And it takes forever to turn. But the cannabis family, we're like a speedboat.
That's exactly
right.
Zip.
We see a problem, we can zip over here, we can handle that problem, and we can go back over here.
That's exactly
right. Legislators would just start working with us.
Exactly. You bring up a great point about the tanker. A Newsweek survey just came out this week. 91% of Americans now support legalization of marijuana.
Right.
91%. And yet, it's still Schedule I drug under the Controlled Dangerous Substances Act. So talk about a freight train. Talk about a tanker. The U.S. government is the slowest entity in the world.
Because we can say it goes all the way back to one person wanted $1 million for his agency. He was no longer fighting alcohol because alcohol had been made legal.
That's right.
And he wanted money for his agency. And the expert that they had, now that's one of those deals where I've just heard about this, but the expert said he took one puff of marijuana and turned into a bat. Okay, now that's some weed I want. I want some of that. I will try that right now. Okay, on that note right now, we're going to take a short break. Come back to Old School and Co. I hope you toke up and tune in. All right, welcome back to Wake and Bake with Old School and Co. I hope you did toke up, and I hope you're tuning in. I'm sitting here talking to my friend Will Daugherty from the Libertarian Party, and we're talking about several things. Now, one thing I want to ask you is, how did you start supporting cannabis?
Sure. Well,
why?
So I started supporting it really from an ideological standpoint with the Libertarian Party. I got involved with them really about 2008 and started supporting Ron Paul, talking about drug decriminalization as a whole.
Right.
I also heard about those ideas from my older siblings who were a lot older than me and a lot more mature in those ideas. So when I was a ninth grader, I was pretty young when all this happened. We had an opinion paper to write in school.
Right.
And so I chose cannabis legalization. This was back in 2008, 2009, so this was a long time before people saw this realistically.
Yeah.
So I got up there in front of the class and I said, this is my paper about marijuana legalization. And the whole class burst out in laughter.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So the teacher had to shush him up and say, hold on, give him a chance, give him a chance. And I went through and I quoted, NORML. I referenced them. They were doing all the work back then pretty much. And went through the statistics, and I think I made a lot of people start scratching their heads. And luckily, I was betting on the right horse because it was the right thing to do. And as time has gone on, we've seen this movement grow and grow into fruition. And like we said on the last segment, now 91% of Americans support it.
Right on. And even if people don't use cannabis, a lot of times they've seen people in their family that do use cannabis, where they're veterans, just whatever reason they use it for. And back in the day, we used to get arrested for it a lot. Now, I've been arrested twice for it. And the money cow that starts, and that affects the entire family too.
Sure.
And that's why, in my opinion, why so many people support the legalization and the moving from Schedule 1. Schedule 1 just drives me up a wall that cannabis is scheduled. Because cannabis, plant that I love, is in the same category as heroin. So what else I got? Cocaine.
It's above methamphetamine.
Yeah,
it's more dangerous than meth, supposedly.
I can't. Well, that's another one.
That just shows the absolute ignorance of the federal government.
It's people. We need people in there that know the difference between these drugs. Because you got people in there that have never used or done these drugs. They have no. They read in the books what they do to you, and boom, that's the only knowledge they have of it.
I think you're right, and I think the other side of it is because Kamala Harris has admitted to using pot, even though she's locked up a ton of people.
She has locked up several people,
and then she laughed about it. But I think the biggest thing in government is still the lobbying. I think Big Pharma is still going to have a hand in it, and as long as they're there, the prison unions, the police unions at the federal level, that's where that lobby power is really the most pressured in D.C. I think that's why those wheels are so slow to turn.
It's amazingly slow, because we can talk about private prisons too. That's another one of my little thorns in my side that's about 4 feet long and 9 feet wide.
Oh, yeah.
Private prisons in Oklahoma, and the government guarantees a 95% occupancy rate.
That's insane.
That's insane.
Any guarantee for occupancy, just like quotas for tickets or anything else, you're not giving us a chance to be good.
No, it's
You're not giving us a chance to surprise you. You're saying we're going to make sure the people are this bad. Yeah. And you know what? If we're not, they're going to make it so.
And we all know when the Leos pull us over, they start fishing for stuff. They start looking in your car, asking questions. That's one thing. They just keep fishing. They want to try to build on charges and stuff.
You're absolutely right. And you and I, being white men, probably see less of that than a lot of people in this state.
Oh, brother, we can talk about that. That's an entirely different show.
True.
There. Yeah.
True.
Because I've been with several friends when they get pulled over, and it's an entirely different experience than whenever, because we get pulled over when I was a teenager and stuff, and it's fun. I got pulled over by the cops. But if you're a person of color and you get pulled over, it's an entirely different experience.
Absolutely. And being young as well. When I was growing up, it was a lot more pressure, a lot more digging, a lot more questions. Nowadays, they look at me, maybe a crew cut and stuff, and I tell them to have a nice day, and I'm respectful, and it's never an issue. I've never had a cop ask me to search my car. But I think that probably...
Really?
Yeah. Surprisingly. But I think the
You don't know what I used to look like, do you?
I guess not, no. But of course, I see you now with the hat and stuff. I can see you probably getting a digging in your glove box or some, I smell something around your car, sir. Maybe some of that.
And I love that the smell is no longer probable cause for search.
That's very true.
That's a great one, because that used to be, if a roach was in your ashtray, the smell, we used to smoke some good loud. And if a roach was in your ashtray, that smell just lingers there forever. So if a police officer came up to your door for any reason, knock, 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 and they smelled it, boom, that was probable cause to search. And whenever they came in and start searching, they arrested you.
And that's what's scary about the smell too, is not only does it give them an easier chance to search, it gives them a really easy way to lie. Because it's so subjective.
Yeah.
So they can say, oh, I smell something. Oh, well, it could be a skunk down the road, you know? And sure, they say that they're trained to do those things, and I'm sure that they go through training.
Yeah.
But it still is such an easy way for them to just make up a reason to search a vehicle, and that is wrong.
I've had someone talk to me before. Okay, it was my mother. And
I hope you listened then.
Oh, yeah, I did. But, you know, it wasn't that long ago. And I'd smoked some loud, and she's sitting there, and she goes, John, have you been around a skunk? You smell like a skunk.
You know what? I was sprayed, yep.
It was great. I said, yeah, I was a heck of a skunk.
I got a pet one. I'm going to probably smell like skunk a lot, Mom.
Well, there you go. Skunk loud. There you go. Right on.
That's good.
Okay, now, you're from Oklahoma.
Uh-huh, I am.
Right on. I love that. Another fellow Okie. Cool.
That's right. I grew up in Stillwater, born and raised.
Oh, okay. I won't hold that against you.
Go Pokes.
I'm from Chickasha.
Okay.
You know, so it's one of those deals. I live in Norman now.
Okay.
So you know the OU Stillwater, rival.
Oh, absolutely. I grew up with that. It took me till I was about 7 or 8 to realize that OU fans weren't actually evil, bad people. They just were from a different part of the state and liked a different football team. I was really raised thinking that was the devil.
Oh, I understand, man. Some people get, so dedicated to it. I dig it.
We're a little bitter. We have one national championship that was voted to us and taken from the Army, which isn't the most respectful championship,
Yeah.
versus y'all's 5. So we're a little bitter.
Well, I'm not a big sports fan. I watch it because, we live in Norman.
Sure.
But,
same. I like to go to the events, but I don't follow the stats or anything like that.
Well, I've been to a football game. Now, I know a lot of people love going to them. I'm a sit at the house person. I'd rather watch it on TV.
Hang out with your pet skunk.
Hang out with the pet, yeah. We were at a game one time with my father-in-law. He just passed last weekend. And
sorry.
It was a bad time. But we were at a game, and he's sitting there, and he goes, okay, it must be a TV break or something. I said, this is on TV? I said, I could be sitting at the house watching this.
Exactly, and then you'd actually get to see the commercials. And
you get to
see get up, you go to the bathroom.
Have to go through security,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I like to go to that stuff every once in a while, but no, I'm not a huge sports guy either. I like to spend my time outdoors, hanging out with friends, and doing stuff like this, pushing for the cause.
Now, cannabis events are entirely different for me. I love going to cannabis events because I get to talk to so many people. I meet so many new people. I always meet somebody new at these events, and it's so much fun.
Heck yeah, and that's where you and I got introduced, actually.
It was.
That protest a few weeks ago, or actually about a month ago now.
That was about a month ago, yep.
And so it's amazing you go to those events, and that's where you get connected to other people in the cause, like-minded people who are pushing for the same ideas.
Right on.
And it just gets the train moving faster and stronger.
There you go. All right. Well, right now we're going to take another short break. This is Old School and Co. Did I forget where I was at? I hope you toke up and tune in while we're gone. Welcome back to Wake and Bake with Old School and Co. I hope you toked up and tuned in while we're gone. I'm sitting here talking to my friend Will Daugherty from the Libertarian Party. What do you got going on, Will?
That's right. I am the legislative at-large member of the Libertarian Party, so we are looking for legislation coming down. We're always watching out for things that are attacking the cannabis-free market. We want to keep this market free, so if you guys believe in that, please look us up, oklp.org. We always want new members. If you believe in freedom, you believe in liberty, you think the government has failed and you'd like to get the government out of your life, the Libertarian Party is the place for you.
Right on, I dig it. Now, you have literature set around, do you, at different dispensaries, do y'all spread flyers around and stuff like that?
You know, we did for the cannabis protest that we organized a month ago,
yeah.
But that's a fantastic idea, and I'm going to take that and run with it because we should.
That would be good because, there's places like, we've got a lot of dispensaries, so we can spread around, and there's several places, like MABS, Natural Solutions in Norman at 2315 East Lindsay. That'd be a good place to set up some flyers.
Okay, I'll absolutely do that.
Okay, now they've got a little ointment down there they call unicorn oil. Now, you don't know about the neuropathy on my foot. So I've had neuropathy for a long time, and on my toe, we've had to remove the toenail, all kinds of stuff like that. And I've been dealing with the pain. This unicorn oil has no THC, no CBD, nothing like that. It's just essential oils. And in my opinion, it's helping me with pain on my foot.
That's awesome.
I know, cool.
If it works, keep using it.
I do, because anything that works, that helps, I will use and I will recommend to people too.
Absolutely.
Now, there's several other places, we could sit there and go. Now, are you in Oklahoma City?
I am in Oklahoma City. I live right in central Oklahoma City off May Avenue.
Okay, cool.
I'm right across from Eden Rose Dispensary, so that's kind of the one closest to me.
I understand. Yeah, well, you're also close to D's Nugs and more.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
he's
right.
at 1600 Southeastern, and that's another good place we could set up some
absolutely
flyers and stuff.
So cannabis prohibition, opposing drug prohibition entirely, has been on the Libertarian Party platform since 1971, whenever the party was founded.
Right.
So you're exactly right, that if we can distribute that stuff to those dispensaries, then I think we can find a lot of like-minded people because no other party had adopted that mindset.
I love talking about distribution because, we've got people right now, they're going from grows, they go around to different dispensaries trying to sell products.
Sure.
Well, we've got CZP, Canazon Prime. And they are for your transportation and storage needs of any cannabis products that you need. Now, this is armed security. They go with pickup, they transport from the grow, they store. What I really like is they enter into a system, and if you're a dispensary in their system, and someone comes in and say, I like White Widow. Okay, I don't have any White Widow. Well, CZP is a storage place, and they can sit there and type in on their computer, and tomorrow they can get White Widow at that dispensary.
Wow, that's incredible.
I love that. I love the connection. That's why I push high-speed internet, because we need to communicate.
Yeah.
And we communicate all over the state. That's why it needs to be in these rural areas, because a lot of our grows are in rural areas.
That's true. I think as time goes on, we're going to get that internet more and more widespread. It's just going to connect the whole world, even globally. And as we get more and more information spread, hopefully we can share these ideas about freedom and liberty faster to more and more people.
That's what's great, is sharing ideas about liberty. I hate it when anybody tells me, you have to do this just exactly right. No, I'm a free thinker. I'm out there. I'm always trying to solve problems, improvise, adapt, and overcome. And I don't like being in this little box. You've got to be right here, do everything right. No.
Absolutely. Well, when you have government make solutions, they think it's going to be a one-size-fits-all thing, and they're deciding from the top. They don't see everybody's lives. They're not looking at the little guy, ma and pa. They don't know what's happening in our families and our communities. Libertarian Party is about keeping those decisions local, close to the people, and really keeping government out of as many things as we can.
And agree. That's these small businesses like MABS Natural Solutions in Norman at 1325 East Lindsay.
Mm-hmm.
People are working on a small budget, not a lot of margin here.
Sure.
Now this metric, these tags and stuff coming in, that's going to add to. Now down at MABS, they did give up one of their licenses because of the new regulations and stuff.
That's terrible. And I really am not a fan of the metric system. I think that I don't hear very many patients complaining about the quality of cannabis that they're consuming.
Right.
I don't hear anybody worrying about it, and if they do, they can go to a different dispensary because we've got a ton of them.
Right.
I don't.
We do have a bunch of them.
You go next door. If you don't like this one, go next door to that
I've
one.
done that before.
And there you go.
Now, we're talking about the metric system. We're not talking about, now this is a roach clip. We're not talking about measuring something here. Now, this is going to be about, I don't know, it's about 14 centimeters. I don't measure in
Better in inches.
Now, this is one of those deals that I'm going to be giving away on TikTok.
Heck yeah.
This is a roach clip that I make. It's a leather-bound roach clip, and it's pretty handy. And that's just one of those deals where I don't make a lot of these, but I'm going to be giving 3 of these away on TikTok with everything else that I'm giving away.
Make sure you get your hands on one of those. How can they do that?
They go to follow me on TikTok.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to announce a big giveaway on TikTok. All 3 winners are going to receive the same thing. I've got 7 t-shirts gathered up right now. I'm going to do a video showing the t-shirts. I've got swag bag, I've got stickers, I've got just all kinds of stuff that all 3 people are going to get. Now, to get in this, you got to follow me on TikTok.
Okay.
Tag 3 friends.
Easy.
Pick a number. Don't everybody pick 420 or 710, I know. And then we're going to set up a big board and I'm going to write random numbers all over it. And then I'm going to smoke a joint and I thought about smoking a joint blindfolded, but that'd be hard to do.
Dangerous too.
So I'm smoke a joint blindfolded. I'm gonna throw 3 darts at it, and wherever those darts, that's totally random. See, I'm old school. People want to use a computer random number stuff. I'm not that. Throw it at a dartboard, and I'll pick out them numbers, and all 3 people are gonna get it. It can probably cost me $15, $20 a package to ship it because it's gonna be so heavy.
Well, heck yeah. Sounds like you better get on TikTok and follow Old School and Company and get 3 friends tagged in that post ASAP.
Old School and Co.
Old School and Co.
It does stand for that, but Old School and Co. And spaces in between is a little underline.
Okay.
Now you can also do a hashtag, hashtag Old School and Co. I don't use my name very much, but I think you can hashtag or search John Frasure too. I don't know.
Okay. Too easy.
Cool. Now we've got oklp.org.
That's right.
Got people you on the net. If you're watching this, you're on the net, ain't you?
Yes, sir. You're watching this.
So go to oklp.org, and that's another one of our sponsors. That's where you can see full videos and stuff. Everything we're doing on the Libertarian Party, right?
Sure, and you can see our platform. You can donate. You can sign up to join, see events we've got coming up, look at our candidates. And another thing I wanted to mention is the Not a Real Libertarian podcast that I'm a co-host of. You can look us up on YouTube as well as Facebook. It's a great podcast. We have multiple guests. We just talk about libertarian ideas, what's going on in the party, what's going on in the country and our states.
Cool, right on. I love that, man. I love other podcasts. I love getting people together, that way people can sit there and watch our podcasts, and we get information from different areas. I get it from here, you get it from there, and we get it from everywhere.
Absolutely.
Okay, you need to go to oklp.org, follow Will. Now, I want to call him Will Wheaton because I watch Big Bang and Star Trek and stuff. But Will Daugherty from the Libertarian Party.
That's right.
All right, we're out of here. This is Old School and Co. I hope you toke up and tune in.
Set me sign to the bodies on the water for my service. Too much line in it. Set me sign to the bodies on the water for my service. Water whipping, water dripping. Broke the pack, mixed it with the measure.